Hey guys, it's Laurie of Laurie's Heirloom. It's 10:30-ish, I think, on... Oh, no, it's not either. It's almost 11 o'clock on Friday, November 6th. And I have several things that are going on and several things that were supposed to be going on that are not going on. The number one thing that is not going on is the closet cleanup, just simply because I've not been home enough this week to actually, take care of that. The main thing is I don't want to do a bad job. I don't want to just go in there and start throwing stuff out, donating things that I might wish I had kept, just frantically trying to get to it because I said I was going to do it by Friday. I just kind of didn't realize that the hours in the days were going to go a little faster than I honestly thought they would. So the closet is still where it was exactly the last time I showed it to you. I don't think I've pulled anything out. I don't think I've put anything in. It's all pretty much exactly the same. Even though I had put that on my new Friday plan, 5 things from this past week that make me happy and for which I am grateful, and 1 thing I want to accomplish within the next week, I'm just gonna have to pass on this week. I actually started working on the Bluebird I Done My Best, this project that I think was in the last video that I uploaded. I did order some really cute buttons. I hope they will fit. If they don't fit in the area that I have blocked off and drawn, I can just hit this with my iron, because this is Pilot Friction Clicker Heat Erase ink pen, and it'll just go away, and then I can, maybe what I'll do is put the buttons on and then just stitch around them so I get a little bit better idea. I don't know, we'll see. But those are ordered. I have done this much while I was over at my daughter's house, and I discovered that I need a 3rd shade of blue. I'm supposed to have another shade of blue for these 2 little curly cues underneath his chin, right there. I have this, and there's probably plenty of it here, and I believe, based on what I'm seeing, that that's kind of a dark shade of blue. Yep, okay, so that's the one I will use. Okay, so there's that one. This is the red work. I'm getting really close. It's all the way stitched. The most difficult part about this, and trying to work on it, not here but elsewhere, is I don't have my tailor's ham with me, so it gets a little difficult, especially in this area right here, because I don't want to wad this up. So I really need to work on it here at the house. And then I got back over there to my daughter's house yesterday, and I realized that I had not taken thread with me. I had my needles, but no thread. So today, right now, I'm going to choose some thread to sew the square edge binding with. use a relatively small needle. Okay, it has split my thread. That's one of the other tests. Which, you know, that's part of the, the testing process. So I think I'm going to go with, I don't know, they don't really have names on these needles. Now one thing you have to be aware of when you're doing any needlework with a needle that has a large eye. So you just choose a corner, whichever corner you would like, and take your needle with the knot at the bottom. You've got both threads knotted up. Okay, and you're going to hide the knot way in the back, right? Now sometimes I will just undo and poke this through like so, and then just redo it right back where you had it before. Okay, and take a stitch right on the edge. And if you're comfortable using a thimble, now would be the time. Okay. And then just kind of do your best to disguise the fact that it's being stitched. So I don't really like the fact that this came out way over here, so I'm going to bury that in the fold. Oops. Okay. Now I can kind of use the fold of the fabric to hide the thread. Okay. And I'm also using the fabric itself, so the stripe is the same color as my thread, so I'm using that to great advantage here. Okay, I'm holding my thread up out of the way. I really can't handle it when my thread gets caught on things, even itself. That gets to be a bit irritating. Okay, so I went through the fold, and now I'm going to take another stitch from down here to up here. And they don't have to be huge. I'm not covering great huge swaths of fabric. I'm taking very small stitches. Okay, so I'm here on this corner. Here's my thread. And I want to close this off. So I'm going to do sort of a strange conglomeration of stitches, like a ladder stitch, and for the most part, your project may not have the huge amount of fabric that my project has. If you recall, I did go back and add batting, so it's 2 layers of batting, 2 layers of ticking, and the top. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Most of the time, if you're sewing with a plant-based natural fiber, silk can be kind of a pain, but a plant-based natural fiber makes this particular step a little easier. Okay, and take a little bitty stitch. Even if it went right back in the same spot, it wouldn't matter, because the main goal here is to just get to this edge right here. So there we go. All right. Tomorrow is my 42nd wedding anniversary, and we're just gonna go shopping. It's like, woohoo! But it will be fun. I mean, I hope. I hope the day is, weather-wise, I hope the day is nice. It's, November's always kind of a gotcha month anyway, so we'll see. Okay. All right, that's nice. Okay, so the next thing will be the skirt. And if you watched that video, the back, this is the back, this is the center back, and these are the two darts. This got caught and needs to be redone, but that's one dart and that's the other dart. That just looks so weird to me. I'm gonna have to undo it. Okay. Flip that over that way. I see that I took a little bit bigger bite on this one. Okay. But the back fit, so we're just going to let that be as it is. The front was just way too big. Now on the front we have the side. The side has the notch. And then there was a dart right here. And this right here would be the facing. So this actually was this side because it's folded this way. Okay, and it was just absolutely huge. So I'm thinking what I want to do is relocate the darts and trim down these facings. So if I relocate the dart, I'm going to have to, what I'll do is hold these up like so. Right, okay. I kind of want to measure them off of the back without taking the facing into consideration. So I'm going to pull that facing out of the way and pin it like so. Alright, ouch. And then know that I'm taking 5/8 of an inch seam allowance, which I am. Okay, I can see I was right about that. But interestingly, not right about that. It's just so strange, isn't it? I mean, look at the difference, and that's about the right amount. here is the wool felt that I received yesterday for the new projects that I plan to work on as soon as the book arrives. I don't want to change any of these or this. It can stay like that. But then I have, oh, and here's this one too. Okay. And then I have these beautiful cream colors right here. So I'm going to take some Roving. And I think I'm going to go with, and if you don't know what Roving is, this right here is Roving. It's wool. Alright, so now to make a blended piece of, I swear I thought I had a green, but I guess not. I'll have to get some. And it just takes just the tiniest little wisp. So I've got this little tiny piece of Roving right here, and I'm going to take, we'll go with this peachy color for now. I'm going to put it on top of this, and I'm only going to do just a little bit right here. These are my needle punch needles. They're very sharp. I recommend being very careful, and just lay it down on top of your wool felt, and then take your needle and just start punching. And it will surprise you. You're thinking, that's not gonna even, that's never gonna do anything. But you, if you've never done this before, I mean, I was absolutely shocked at how pretty it is. And you just have to kind of just punch away like this. And poke it. And you can add more. Like I could take a little bit of this color right here, which is, it's like an off-white, and I can throw that right on top. Kind of blend this in. And go for it. Okay, so that has kind of dulled down that bright red, and now I'm going to take it over to my steam iron, and I'm going to just steam right over the top, and that kind of helps to get rid of some of the holes caused by my needle. And there's probably a very special needle that you can use for this. It's not as big as the one that I was using. I think that this is one of the most fun and interesting ways to change the color of your felt. So, and I believe that that's how they did it. This is my little needle case, and those little things in there are my bird eyes, because I clearly have enough to make a ton of birds. But in any case, this one, now it could be that they run this through a machine that washes the wool together. I don't really know how they make this blended, but clearly it's blended. I mean, you can see there's different colors. I love it. Being somewhat of a painter, this really appeals to me as an art form. So I don't know if I will be using I have a feeling I'll be using this little piece right here. Oh, I meant to show you the other thing that you can do, in case it wasn't clear, and I'm sure it wasn't because I'm all excited about doing this. Take some of your Roving and blend it in your hand like this. Go into the shape that I want it to go into. So I'm forming it with my fingers. I'm not touching it with the needles yet. And I'm kind of looking. I want to see if it's going to look like I want it to when I'm done. Tuck that down there. Okay. Side with the needle right here. But this is the reverse. And as you can see, it is a more muted, almost like it's been just brushed across. Interestingly, like a cloud in the sky that's kind of breaking apart. Today we did how to stitch this. I'll be taking this over there with me. I did choose some thread. Okay, have my needle. We did the bluebird. I chose another blue because I needed another blue, but this is where I am so far. And if you're wondering what these knots are right here, let me see if I can get you down where you can see those. So this little bunch of knots right here, these are my waist knots. And what I'm going to do, as I have several up here as well, I've got a distance great enough that once I'm done doing the embroidery, I can cut the little waist knot and tie these into a knot on the back. So that's how I do my little bit of embroidery when I don't want to leave a knot. The main reason I don't want to leave a knot on this, on the back side, is because I might frame it, and if I frame it, a knot would create a bump on the back. So I would rather just have it be flat. The other thing I can do is use some fabric glue. So if I ended up making these too short and I couldn't tie them in a knot, then I can just cut the knots off on this side, bring this through, and then just use a little bit of glue. Now I'm not real thrilled with that. It's not the best and it's not ideal, but it's all, you know, it's okay. Sometimes you can use the temporary adhesive and a little piece of this fabric. Just cut a little tiny piece of the fabric, use some temporary adhesive, and pop it right on top, and you know, you're good to go. Now if I were doing this as a pillow, I would definitely be doing knots. There's no way that I can make sure that my stitches are going to hold up to the wear and tear of a pillow unless I stick it up on a shelf and it's a display. And I am not a big fan of displayed pillows. I just don't think so. Maybe at one time I was, but I'm not anymore. So this is going to be framed, and it's probably only going to come out at Christmas because I've got holly leaves and holly berries, and I think it might be a Christmas project based on the picture. If you look at that, I see some snow in the foreground. There's a lot of holly. Oh, you can't see that. Snow in the foreground. It's like a hay bale. And then there's the holly and the holly berries. And I just feel like maybe because of that, it would feel funny having it out, you know, 365 days out of the year. But I have a lot of needlework that I have done, I have framed, and I bring it out only at Christmas. So it's not an issue for me. And I use the kind of frame that has a kickstand. so that, you know, I can put it on a table. I can put it wherever we're all going to be gathering. I can put it there and kind of decorate around it. And this is big enough that I think that would be kind of pretty. So being framed, it shouldn't get a lot of wear and tear, and I think my waist knots will be just fine. All right, so there was this, and then we worked on the skirt right here and made it smaller, talked about a mock-up, looked at the fabric, and then we had fun with the felt. And the book that I am waiting for the book to arrive, and when it does, I will show you why I fell in love with this whole plan. It is going to be fun, and I think fun Christmas gifts. So if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you are a subscriber, thank you so much. If you're a visitor, I really appreciate you stopping by and hanging out with us today. Consider subscribing, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye. Alright guys, I'm actually in the editing room, but I went and got the mail while I was waiting on a specific edit that's going to take a few minutes. And I have two things. So we're going to open some mail while we wait. Oh, I think I know what they both are. So this is the size range. See if I can get it to capture. Oh, for heaven's sakes, hang on a second. Size B range of the pattern that we are currently working on the skirt. There's that 8, 10, 12. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. Well, that was nice. They included a piece of cardboard to keep it from bending. That's a little nice. So this is it right here. Sweet and simple wool applique, 15 folk art projects to stitch. It's on page 12, and I think it's called a needle keep. So we shall take a look at that real quick on page 12, and this is it. That is so cute. I apologize for the shadows. I'm not in a room that's really conducive to filming, but I'm having to wait. I'm at 26% on this specific thing. This is really adorable. It's a little mini, teeny tiny block. This one is the one that I said, okay, I must have that right there. So I probably am not finishing sentences. I apologize. I think we're all enamored of this style right here. Really cute. It's called Flowered Heat Bag. What you put, oh, rice and lavender. Okay. Right, so it is a rice and lavender bag. Oh, look at this. How adorable. Again, I apologize for the terrible lighting in here. So when I have those materials, we'll be able to dig in. I love the fact that it actually has patterns for each, it looks like for most of the items in here. It's just, that's lovely. So then if I get this mail opening on the video that I am currently working on, you will see a link for this in the description box below this video. Otherwise, we'll be talking about a different video, and I will mention that this is linked below. My goodness, link, link, link. Okay. So anyway, thank you very much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.